a one-week delay and a new FBI investigation. But tonight, it appears ability is already being questioned tonight by top-ranking Democrats. All this as Republicans remain focused on getting Judge Kavanaugh's nomination to a vote and doing it soon. Republican Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee, joins us now to weigh in. Good to see you,
Hello.
Senator.
Hi.
You're busy.
Yeah, it's good to help a nice man like Judge Kavanaugh get on the Supreme Court.
Well, you know the Democrats don't think he's so nice. Yeah. I want to read a little bit of back and forth. This started on Twitter, as so many fights in Washington do.
Okay.
This is from the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday. Tweeted, nowhere in any of these 6 FBI reports referring to the previous background checks, which the committee has reviewed on a bipartisan basis, was there ever a whiff of any issue at all related in any way to inappropriate sexual behavior or alcohol abuse. Well, Senator Dick Durbin says the tweet's not accurate. Committee Republicans must correct it. He sent a letter. We noticed that only Senators Coons and Klobuchar, Democrats on the committee, didn't sign it. Then the Senate Judiciary Committee tweets back, nothing in the tweet is inaccurate or misleading. The committee stands by its statement, which is completely truthful, more baseless innuendo and more false smears from Senate Democrats. What are they referring to, the Democrats?
I have no idea what Durbin's referring to, but I can tell you the facts. Kavanaugh was nominated in 2006. He's been on the court for 12 years. They've been 6 background checks because he had worked for President Bush as his secretary, personal secretary, not doing dictation, but, you know, managing the Oval Office, everything around the president. He had a background check from hell to get that job. I dare Durbin to go through it, me to go through it, see how well we would do. So, no, Durbin's wrong. Durbin's just making up another story that's not true. There's nothing in his background checks that suggest anything consistent with the allegations against him, and if they had been, they would have said something about it. So Democrats have been despicable in the way they treated him, and if it's true there was something there, they're just incompetent. There's nothing there.
All right, so let's talk through a couple of things. Dr. Ford's legal team today, because Senator Grassley, the chairman, has asked numerous times for recordings of the polygraph, communications with the media regarding these allegations, and her therapist notes, because he says, listen, you gave some of them to the Washington Post. At least according to the Washington Post, we want those. Her team says Dr. Ford is now prepared to provide those documents to the FBI. When she's interviewed, we have not yet heard from the FBI about scheduling an interview with her. So won't give them to the committee, but will give them to the FBI.
It's just a game. They keep playing a game at Dr. Ford's expense. If this would help Dr. Ford, why wouldn't they give them to us? The bottom line here is Dr. Ford's been used by the Democratic Party here. The person who betrayed her trust and leaked her name to the media had a political agenda. It was not a friend. And the political activist lawyers that were given to her by Democratic senators' staff members, I think, have a lot to account for. Brett Kavanaugh is the man I've known for 20 years. He's the man you see in the record. And everything that's happened to him during this confirmation process has been despicable, and it's all fallen apart, and it's always another reason. If you don't believe he's a gang rapist, if you don't believe he's a sexual predator, if you don't believe he's a stumbling, bumbling drunk, how about this? He just doesn't have the temperament to be a judge. This is one that offends me the most. How would you react if somebody destroyed your life and you found yourself in front of the entire nation being humiliated? What would you do?
Well, the top Democrat on the committee, Senator Dianne Feinstein, says this about him not being interviewed by the FBI for this newest background check. She says when he wasn't yelling and demeaning senators, he was making misleading statements that cast doubt on his overall trustworthiness. I don't think that would happen with FBI agents seated across the table. All right, next step.
Okay, number one, what a joke. I like Dianne Feinstein. I don't think she leaked Dr. Ford's name to the media, but somebody around her may have. If you saw this man as yelling, I saw a man who was offended to his core, defended his good name, took it to the people who were trying to destroy his family. What would you do if you're in that situation? So this idea that somehow his temperament's in question, you're rewarding the worst behavior I've seen in 20 years if you buy that garbage to any Republican. His temperament before this hearing was A++, according to the ABA. Do not let these people do what they've done to Judge Kavanaugh and reward them by saying he's no longer fit because he is in the world's worst position of defending himself against a bunch of garbage from people who don't care about fairness. This has never been about the truth. It's been about delaying the hearing to get past the midterms to fill this seat in 2020. If you don't believe me, listen to Senator Hirano.
All right, we got to go. But do you have the votes? Does he have the votes within the next 4 or 5 days to become a justice?
Yeah, I've never felt more confident because I've been told a summary of a summary. The FBI background check is going to hold up. It's going to reinforce everything the committee did. We'll get briefed about it tomorrow. If that's the case, if the FBI interviews validate what the committee found, I hope these 3 Republicans who asked for the delay will say, "Nah, I'm satisfied," and we'll get this good man on the court. I've never felt better about it. I hope Joe Manchin in West Virginia, who's a friend of mine, will listen to the people of West Virginia, Joe, because they're telling you what to do. And Joe Kavanaugh, Joe Manchin is a friend, but Brett Kavanaugh I've known for 20 years. I'm telling you right now, what they've done to this guy, Joe, is a bunch of garbage, and you should be offended, and it will destroy the judiciary. Don't be part of this crowd, Joe. Go with West Virginia.
He has said that he will be fair-minded in listening to both sides, so we'll see.
Until I'm proven otherwise, I'll believe it.
All right. Senator Graham, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you.